Tonight, several developing stories as we come on the air. Chilling new video, survivors fleeing a burning jet moments after it crashed. The urgent manhunt for a suspect wanted for allegedly killing a deputy, and a big change in the weather coming for millions. First, that incredible new video. Survivors running from the flames after their jet crashed on a Florida highway, telling bystanders that others are trapped inside. What we're learning about the identities of the victims in this deadly crash, the pilot radioing that he'd lost both engines, and new details on the investigation. Also tonight, the reward is growing and the hunt intensifying for a man accused of shooting two deputies in Tennessee and killing one of them. How a routine traffic stop suddenly turned deadly. Police have now arrested the suspect's brother and girlfriend. The fallen deputy once hailed as a hero for rescuing a man from a burning vehicle. The South facing a severe storm threat over several days, flooding and possible tornadoes. And a big change is coming to the Northeast, where spring-like temperatures will give way to a winter storm. Donald Trump blasting the Justice Department, saying if President Biden isn't charged for holding on to classified documents, neither should he. Plus, the damage control at the White House after the special counsel's report calls into question President Biden's mental fitness. An Oklahoma judge forced to resign. She was caught sending hundreds of text messages, including some that disparaged witnesses at the trial of a man accused of murdering a 2-year-old boy. Tonight, the now former judge is breaking her silence. Super Bowl security, the extraordinary steps taken to keep the big game safe. Law enforcement with eyes in the sky, hundreds of officers and dozens of canine teams patrolling on the ground. And what authorities say is their greatest concern. Police chasing down a woman suspected of stealing a car. How this pursuit came to a sudden and violent end. And America Strong tonight, the 11-year-old aspiring journalist who stole the show during Super Bowl week.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us on this Saturday. I'm Whit Johnson. Several developing stories we're following tonight. Severe weather slamming the South ahead of what could be a major snowstorm hitting the Northeast later this week. The urgent manhunt in Tennessee for the suspect in the fatal shooting of a police deputy. But we begin here tonight with new details from that deadly and fiery crash on a Florida interstate. Just before we came on the air, authorities confirming the pilot and the co-pilot of that small plane were killed when it went down on I-75 near Naples. The pilot reporting the failure of both engines. 3 other people fleeing for their lives from the burning wreckage. These images captured by a Good Samaritan recording on his phone as he rushed toward the flames. The incident bringing traffic on the busy roadway to a standstill. Authorities say 1 person on the ground was hurt, 2 vehicles were damaged. Part of I-75 near the crash site remained closed today. The NTSB on the scene investigating what caused both engines to fail. ABC's Morgan Norwood leads us off.
Oh my God. Oh my God. What the?
Tonight, chilling new video showing the terrifying moment 3 people escaped this blazing plane that crashed on I-75 in Naples, Florida. Kyle Cavalier taking the video as he rushed toward the wreckage to help.
The plane's completely engulfed in flames, jet fuel, hydraulic oil. At that point now, I run over to try and help them.
The flames still tearing through the jet. Survivors frantic, telling him the pilot was still inside.
Is there anybody else in there?
Yes! Yes, our pilots! Our pilots!
Are they alive?
We haven't, I don't know.
The Collier County Sheriff's Office says pilot Edward Murphy and his second-in-command Ian Hoffman were killed when the Bombardier Challenger 600 bound for Naples Airport went down in the middle of rush hour Friday.
We're clear to land, but we're not going to make the runway. We've lost both engines.
It took the top of that truck.
The jet slamming into a pickup truck, sending the driver to the hospital with minor injuries, according to the Florida Highway Patrol. An SUV also hit. The 3 people inside walking away unharmed. Tonight, both the FAA and NTSB investigating what caused those engines to give out.
Extraordinarily unusual for both engines to fail. So it can happen from lack of fuel, fuel starvation, running out of gas, or it could happen by birds being sucked down both engines, but extraordinarily rare.
Morgan Norwood joining us now. And Morgan, still so many questions about what went wrong here, but what will investigators specifically be looking for?
Well, there's no doubt that those two engines will be a central part of this investigation. Look, whatever's left of them at this point could tell authorities a lot about what may have happened here. We also know the NTSB is on the ground right now in Naples, and as they investigate, they're asking anyone with video showing the plane crash to reach out to them. Whit.
Morgan, thank you. Tonight, authorities in Tennessee are intensifying their search for the suspect accused of killing one deputy and wounding another during a traffic stop. The suspect's brother and girlfriend arrested overnight, charged with being accessories after the fact. And the reward for information leading to the suspect's capture is climbing. Here's ABC's Phil Lipof.
Tonight, the reward topping $80,000 for the suspect wanted in the fatal shooting of a deputy during a routine traffic stop in Tennessee.
We're committed to track him down. It might be today or tomorrow, but we're going to get him, and he's going to be brought to justice.
On Thursday night, police say deputies pulled Kenneth DeHart Jr. over for erratic driving in Blount County, nearly an hour from Knoxville. DeHart seen in this photo from body camera video yet to be released. Police say when he refused to get out of his vehicle, the deputies deployed a stun gun. They say DeHart then pulled a gun, opening fire.
Help! Help! I've been shot!
Both deputies shot. Deputy Shelby Eggers radioing in.
I've been hit. Suspect fled.
She returns fire, but the suspect able to get away.
She did her job, and she's lucky to be alive.
Deputy Greg McCowan pronounced dead, his body escorted to a funeral home by dozens of fellow officers. Overnight, the investigation leading police to DeHart's girlfriend, Carrie Matthews, and his brother, Marcus, both arrested and charged with accessory after the fact. Deputy Eggers has been treated and released from the hospital. Deputy McCowan joined the sheriff's office in 2020, and just a year into his time there, received an award for saving a man from a burning vehicle. Tonight, he is being remembered as a hero. Whit.
Phil Lipof for us. Thank you. Tonight, a cross-country storm is on the move, dumping rain in the south, flooding, and a risk of possible tornadoes. That system bringing heavy snow to the Rockies and Western Plains. These images are from Monument, Colorado. And while the Northeast feels like spring today, that's all about to change soon. Let's get to ABC meteorologist Samara Theodore. Samara, time this out for us.
Well, Whit, the most imminent threat is tonight as severe thunderstorms work their way through the south. The nocturnal storms rolling through Texas into 7 a.m. with more rounds of robust storms hitting Jackson, Mississippi, Birmingham, Mobile, New Orleans, and even Atlanta by 7 p.m. when many will be out for Super Bowl festivities tomorrow. The threat for isolated tornadoes and damaging winds lingers into the Monday morning commute for much of the Florida Panhandle into the Carolinas. And then all eyes turn to the Northeast Monday night into Tuesday, where we could be in for a hefty snowstorm. In fact, winter storm watches have already been issued from Pennsylvania to New England. And while totals are not yet definitive, some of those areas shaded in blue could see 6 or more inches of snow. Whit?
All right, we'll brace for those changes, Samara. Thank you. Now to the fallout from the special counsel's report on President Biden's handling of classified documents. The White House pushing back while the president's rivals, including former President Trump, are jumping on the report's references to Biden's mental acuity. Trump, who is a little more than 3 years younger than the current president, today holding a rally in South Carolina ahead of that state's primary. ABC's Alex Perche in South Carolina tonight.
Tonight, former President Trump on the offensive in South Carolina.
The special counsel's report tries to let Biden off by claiming that he is too mentally incompetent to convict at a trial. But it's okay for him to become commander-in-chief. Think of that one.
In front of a crowd in Conway, Trump, fresh off of early voting victories in Nevada and the Virgin Islands, capitalizing on remarks made by the special counsel critical of President Biden's mental health.
I've called for cognitive tests. I actually think anybody running for president should have tests. I think, and I pass them every time.
Nikki Haley spending this weekend crisscrossing South Carolina, playing catch-up in her home state and attacking both Biden and Trump over their ages.
Joe Biden is not going to be the nominee. He is not. You look at what happened a couple of days ago. Now you have the special counsel saying that he's got a bad memory. There will be a female president of the United States. Hard truth, it's either going to be me or Kamala Harris.
President Biden spending the weekend in Wilmington, not holding any events. And administration sources tell ABC News he's fuming over the special counsel's report.
These assertions are not only misleading, they're just plain wrong.
Special counsel Robert Hur declined to prosecute the president over his handling of classified information. But Hur's report also describes Biden as a well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory and diminished faculties in advancing age.
The way that the president's demeanor in that report was characterized could not be more wrong on the facts and clearly politically motivated.
Earlier today at Trump's rally, he brought up Nikki Haley's husband, suggesting that he left for deployment in order to get away from her. Now, Michael Haley is currently on a year-long stint in Africa as part of South Carolina's Army National Guard. But tonight, Nikki Haley firing back at Trump, saying someone who continually disrespects the sacrifices of military families has no business serving as commander-in-chief.
Those comments getting a lot of attention today. All right, Alex, thank you. To the Middle East now, Israeli forces intensifying their strikes on southern Gaza ahead of an expected ground incursion. More than 1 million people have fled to the city of Rafah. More than 40 people killed today in Israeli bombings. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu telling our Jonathan Karl the IDF is trying to protect civilians.
You've directed the Israeli Defense Forces to evacuate Rafah in advance of this ground invasion. There's an estimated 1.4 million people in that area right now. Where are they supposed to go?
No, well, the areas that we've cleared north of Rafah are plenty of areas there, but we are working out a detailed plan to do so. And that's what we've done up to now. We're not cavalier about this. This is part of our war effort to get civilians out of harm's way.
And tune into This Week tomorrow morning to see more of Jonathan Karl's interview with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. We turn now to the Oklahoma judge stepping down just days before she was set to go on trial in a special court, accused of sending hundreds of text messages to her bailiff while presiding over a murder trial involving the death of a toddler. Some of the texts critical of the prosecutor and the defendants. Here's ABC's Jacqueline Lee.
She was caught on camera texting and scrolling on Facebook during a murder trial in the killing of a 2-year-old boy. And tonight, an Oklahoma judge is off the bench, accused by the state Supreme Court of gross neglect of duty and bias.
It doesn't matter whether it was a traffic case or whether it was a divorce case or whether it was a first-degree murder case. I texted during a trial, and that was inappropriate.
District Judge Tracy Soderstrom, who was suspended with pay, now stepping down after only a year on the bench. In October, the Chief Justice recommended Soderstrom be removed following an investigation that found she exchanged more than 500 texts and emojis with a bailiff, including "This is dumb" during the state's direct examination of a witness. "Can I please scream liar, liar" during witness testimony. And "He's pretty. I could look at him all day" about a police officer on the stand. The state Supreme Court says the texts show a lack of temperament to serve as a judge and reflect a judge who wholly abandoned her neutral role. Soderstrom was presiding over the trial of a man convicted last June of second-degree manslaughter in the death of his girlfriend's 2-year-old son, Braxton Danker, seen here in a photo posted online by the funeral home. When, as part of her resignation, Soderstrom has agreed to never seek judicial office in Oklahoma again.
Jacqueline Lee, thank you. Tonight, law enforcement is on high alert ahead of Super Bowl LVIII. Authorities keeping an eye on Las Vegas from the skies ahead of the big game. Helicopters patrolling, looking for anything that looks suspicious. Officials so far have said there are no specific threats, but a heightened threat environment remains a concern. ABC's Melssa Adan is in Las Vegas.
Tonight, on the eve of the big game, law enforcement at every level on high alert, taking extraordinary steps to ensure safety.
There are no known, credible, specific threats to the Super Bowl or to Las Vegas at this time, but we are vigilant.
More than 30 federal, state, and local agencies involved in security preparations. The FAA imposing temporary restrictions on Las Vegas airspace and declaring a no-drone zone for a 30-mile radius, enforced by specialized personnel able to track and disrupt unmanned aircrafts. ABC's Will Reeve joining Customs and Border Patrol for a first-hand look at aerial surveillance.
If something does look amiss, what happens next?
At that point, we are able to communicate with our federal and local law enforcement agents on the ground so that they can handle anything that they need to.
On the ground, fans like Mom Lindsay Gubler telling me safety is top of mind.
How do you feel how they're doing here? Vegas is the first year they have a Super Bowl.
I'm really surprised. Nervous coming down just because it's Vegas and they're little girls, but honestly, we've had an amazing experience.
With ABC News obtaining a law enforcement threat assessment, and officials here remain concerned due to the heightened threat environment that the Super Bowl poses, citing the Israel-Hamas war as a possible concern and even pointing to lone wolf attacks as the biggest threat.
Melissa, thank you. A dramatic rescue in Kharkiv, Ukraine's second largest city. Body camera video shows officers who were first on the scene after Russian drone strikes racing into a burning structure, leading some residents to safety. At least 7 people were killed, including 5 members of the same family who were trapped in their house as a fire raged. A baby and 2 children were among the victims. There's still much more ahead on World News Tonight this Saturday, including a mystery. Who stole a 200-foot tower from a radio station? And a wild police chase comes to a sudden and violent end. Stay with us. Next tonight, body camera video from Columbus, Ohio, just released showing a suspected car thief crashing a vehicle into a police sergeant who then shoots the suspect from the hood of the car. A warning, the video is disturbing.
Stop the car! Stop the car! Turn around, get your car, move away.
The female suspect was arrested and charged with felony assault. She is recovering from non-life-threatening injuries. Police say the sergeant is out of the hospital and expected to fully recover. When we come back, Britain's King Charles breaks his silence, what he's saying about his battle with cancer. To the index now, and a brazen theft in central Alabama. Police are trying to find out who stole a 200-foot radio tower in Jasper. WJLX AM and FM has been off the air, only able to stream its programming since the tower went missing 8 days ago. The station's general manager says the tower was not insured. He set up a GoFundMe page to raise the $60,000 to $70,000 needed to replace it. This weekend, the Year of the Rabbit is giving way to the Year of the Dragon. Lunar New Year is being celebrated in China, Asia, and all around the world. Throughout Chinese history, the dragon has represented good luck, justice, prosperity, and strength. The celebration begins with the first new moon of the lunar calendar, lasts for 15 days, and welcomes the beginning of spring. Tonight, Britain's King Charles is thanking the many people who've wished him well following his cancer diagnosis. In a statement, the King writes, "As all of those who have been affected by cancer will know, such kind thoughts are the greatest comfort and encouragement." The palace has not said which form of cancer the King is fighting. When we come back, a star is born, the 11-year-old journalist who may have asked the best questions during Super Bowl week. Finally tonight, one of the young stars of Super Bowl week isn't a player, but he is America strong.
What's up, dude? My name is Jeremiah.
11-year-old Jeremiah Fennell stealing the show during Super Bowl week.
I'm a big fan.
Selected by the NFL Network as their youth sportscaster.
What is the offensive game plan? What is the hardest part about going against the Chiefs? I started to do this at the age of 7 years old because I wasn't able to play sports due to some medical issues, but I still like the sports environment, so I decided to hone my craft in journalism at the age of 7.
Oh my goodness, it's amazing. Though unable to play contact sports due to a rare neurological condition he was born with, Jeremiah developed a love for football, watching games on TV.
Hi, everybody.
At just 7, posting this Raiders highlights report online.
Down the sideline, touchdown.
More recently, announcing youth football games in his hometown of Las Vegas.
Oh, he's gone. He could be gone.
This week, taking his reporting to a whole new level, going one-on-one with 49er linebacker Fred Warner.
Does your defense have a game plan specifically designed to slow down Travis Kelce?
I guess we'll have to find out on Sunday. Next up, Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce.
One thing that I noticed about you is that whether you're on the field or the sidelines, you bring all the energy to the team. You're like the life of the party. Let's be real.
Having a bit of fun with Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes.
You look around, all of these reporters waiting to interview you. I want to have a little bit of fun first before all the chaos begins. So is that okay?
Let's do it, man. A star young reporter already living his dream.
Sure is an incredibly bright future ahead, that's for sure. Thank you so much for watching tonight. I'm Whit Johnson in New York. I'll see you on GMA in the morning. Good night.
Thank you for making World News Tonight with David Muir, America's most watched newscast.